Good afternoon. My name is Eliana Smith, and I've lived here in Charlotte for 8 years. I'm here today because I truly believe this Charlotte ordinance creates dangerous and vulnerable situations for women, children, as well as men. And I'm going to share something today that I've never shared publicly, and I'm really nervous to share it. But I feel it's really necessary due to the direction that our city is going in. When I was young, I was sexually assaulted. And in the years that followed, I had a real fear of being alone with men or being in places with men. And this fear has followed me for a long time. And I actually remember seeking out colleges and universities that weren't co-ed, because I wanted to make sure that I was on the floor with just women and that the men were separated. Thankfully, I found healing and peace from the pain that I experienced as a child. And I did come to realize that I could be safe again. But in the recent weeks, the thoughts of what I experienced has come back to my mind as I watched the Charlotte City Council vote to allow biological males into the women's restrooms, locker rooms, and showers. And I have some serious concerns and anxiety about men being in the bathroom with me or with my children. More of the pain and nervousness, I feel like I said, comes from my children. I have 4 of them, and I never want them to experience or feel anything that I have felt. I'm extremely worried about April 1st when the Charlotte ordinance goes into effect and how it will place myself, my children, and all the women and children here in Charlotte in vulnerable situations. How will I be able to go into a bathroom knowing that there's a possibility that a man or someone pretending to be a man will be in there? I won't have peace about my little girls showering and changing at the YMCA when there very well could be a man posing as a woman in there with us. I'm worried that at any moment a man may come in and see me exposed as I privately try to nurse my newborn baby. My children and I frequently go out to eat. We go on field trips in parks, the library, and I don't know how I'll be able to take my children to all these places when there's no one there who will actually be able to take up for us. My children, in passing this ordinance, the City Council ignored its obligation to protect all citizens of Charlotte and demonstrated that they don't really care about my concerns, my children, or the thousands of other Charlotteans, but that they're more concerned about their political agenda. And it's just common sense that a man should not be in the restroom with women and with little girls. The City Council knowingly created a policy that encourages situations where women and children will be placed in danger. We don't need to jeopardize the safety of the majority in order to satisfy the minority of the people. My concerns and my fears are real, and it's not right for anyone to discount them, for anyone to protest against it, and for anyone to call me a bigot or a fearmonger because I want to keep my children safe. I've always believed that every person should be treated with dignity and respect, and I am not standing here saying that transgenders are evil and that they are predators, but what I am saying is that there are countless deviant men who will pose as a transgender, who will pretend to be women in order to gain access to the people they want to exploit. And we know that this is true because it already happened in Seattle Parks and Rec a couple of weeks ago. I believe that it's the government's role to protect us and to do everything in its power to keep women and children safe from emotional and physical abuse and trauma. Up to this point, North Carolina and most states have rightly structured themselves around the unarguable distinctions that men should be in the men's restroom and women needs to be in the women's restroom. As a victim of sexual abuse, it's very difficult to speak up and defend yourself. There's fear, especially as a young girl, that if you speak up, you will somehow have to pay. This fear has returned in a different way as I prepare for this non-discrimination ordinance to go into effect. I'm here today to implore you to stand on the side of common sense and on the side of protecting me, my children, my family, and all of Charlotteans. Governor McCrory has promised to do what Roy Cooper will not do, to protect every citizen in Charlotte by standing up for women, children, and families. I'm asking them to take immediate action because every little girl's privacy and safety matters. No one should be forced into an intimate setting with someone of the opposite sex. Today I call on Governor McCrory to make good on his promise to protect the safety, privacy, and common sense of the people of North Carolina by calling a special session repealing this ordinance before it goes into effect on April 1st. Thank you very much.